Hello and welcome to the Tuesday Chew. Today we are talking about always be recruiting. Why you should always have your talent radar switched on. I know Roy was telling me a story about one time when he kind of got it right by accident in a previous role. Do you want to share that one?
Actually, I want to start with your story where you wasn't in recruiting mode and what happened.
Really? Okay. No, I can do. Yeah. This is painful. So this is where I got a C player who was masquerading as an A player, but it wasn't his fault. It was mine. And the reason it was my fault is because I was recruiting in desperation. I had a vacancy, desperate to fill it, marketing manager, and it was a really, really important role. If I didn't have a marketing manager in place, then fundamentally my store owners were not going to get their promotional materials. If they didn't have their promotional materials, they would be knocking on my door. Not something I had a particular appetite to receive. So
that was your pain.
Oh yeah, that was my pain. Unfortunately, I made my pain 10 times worse because I recruited somebody, and genuinely, I saw this guy interview and I thought, wow, this guy's a superstar. Absolutely amazing. He's potentially succession. He could take my job. And that's what you want. When you're recruiting somebody, that's what you want.
James Bond.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? He absolutely was a superstar at interviewing. He was bloody awful at doing the job. But the worst thing is when you spend a load of money and time and effort making a mistake, sometimes you're loath to kind of admit it, and so you hang on to the results of that mistake for a lot longer than you should do, and I did that as well, so I actually compounded my own error. I learnt from it. That's the best I can say, but it was a painful and expensive learning experience. Go on, tell me what I should have done, because your story is far more nice than that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I wasn't particularly in recruitment mode, but I was open to the right person. And to be fair, I was a bit cynical and sceptical about this particular person. I'd spoken to them on the phone. They seemed all right, but I wasn't particularly motivated. I didn't even have a role. To be fair, and I actually made it quite difficult for them to meet up with me, which looking back was not a nice thing to do. But I met him about 180 miles away from his house at 8 o'clock on Monday morning.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
Bugger.
And he turned up. And he was awesome.
Yeah. And
I went back to my bosses and said, I need a lot of money to hire this guy. And he turned out to be an A player. And I've seen some of your videos on you can hire a true positive, an A player who interviews well, a true negative, someone who doesn't know how to do the job and can't even interview well.
Yeah.
And then there's the false positives, the one who interviews well, can't do the job.
Had one of those.
And in some ways, this guy was a false negative. He initially didn't come over that well. But actually, what I found was an A player, and he was awesome, and it was the best hire I ever made.
Yeah, and those people are like gold dust. But if you recruit in desperation, if you wait until you've got a vacancy and you have to fill it, you have to get a bum on a seat. Unfortunately, you leave yourself open to those false positives, and the worst thing is, you lose out on some serious talent, those false negatives, because you don't have time to spot them. You don't give yourself time to react properly. So it's a common leadership blind spot. And if you'd like to know a little bit more about leadership blind spots, we're going to post a link down below to invite you along to one of our 2-hour masterclasses called Building a Bulletproof Business, in which we'll be talking about that particular blind spot and another 13 very common leadership blind spots.
So that's it for today's Tuesday Chew, bringing you weekly hints and tips from Sandler Sales Mastery, Management Solutions, and Leadership for Organisational Excellence.
And if any of the things that we've been talking about look, sound or feel familiar in your world, then you can contact us. Simply comment down below, or you can DM us.
Or go to our website, www.m6.sandler.com,
or you can access our e-learning library at www.m6.sandler.com/sell, or you can email us
roy.johnson@sandler.com
or mdh@sandler.com. See you next time.